Hey everyone, I'm back for season 2 of Realness Podcast. And these past few months have been an emotional roller coaster. I went from being happy about business, which business is doing fairly well. I can be doing better. I am trying to get better. I'm still learning different things. It's not, I don't want to say it's a challenge, but it's keeping me busy. It's paying the bills. You know, I'm able to work more on my business now than work my part-time job. So that's a great thing. Also, I had death in the family, so I was a little sad about that. My cousin, she passed away from lupus. And I've been watching her for a while, and, you know, she was speaking on lupus, and she was really trying her best to fight lupus. And like I said, it was just a sad situation, and I had to attend the funeral and support family and be there for family as much as I knew how to be, you know. And then I'm disappointed, and I'm still disappointed in myself. I even shedded a couple of tears because I was taking these classes, and I am taking these classes, and one of the classes I failed, and I stayed up all night long doing a paper, and I actually did it before the deadline. And normally I'm a procrastinator and I do things at the last minute. You know, I just do it at the last minute. But this particular class, I did the paper before the deadline. Thought I submitted the paper, but it never went through because my internet froze. And that's really my fault because I should have checked to make sure it went through. But I'm not going to make excuses. I just should have made sure that it went through. And two, I think I could have did better if I would have did my other assignments a little bit better instead of just like doing them just to get by. And I probably still would have passed if that paper wouldn't have failed to be submitted. So that I went through that, and I literally cried. Like, I shed some tears. I was actually shocked and really disappointed in myself. Also, the good things, I took 2 mini vacations. One was to San Antonio. My niece Deasia had a birthday. She turned 6 years old. So we went to SeaWorld. We went to the park. We had fun, like literally had fun. A bunch of kids. And it was cool. I really had a great time. Then I went to Chattanooga for my birthday. My birthday was July 22nd. And that was a sense of peace. That entire vacation, for the most part, was a sense of peace. I needed to get away from Houston and leave some things behind at that moment, being drained with negativity, being drained with problems of other people was weighing a toll on me. So that vacation, I really needed that vacation, and I came back so much better. So that leads to my topic of healing. I haven't really covered the topic about healing in season 1 because I've been holding on to things that has been really hard for me to get past, let go, or for me to try to understand why without getting closure or an answer. And when I went to the sea, it is just like that was my closure for a lot of things that I've experienced, definitely in the last 3 years of trying to understand why things happened the way it happened. And then probably the last 40 something years, I'm 44 now, of different little things of the closure of the healing that I needed, things I didn't understand with a young mind. But now that I'm an adult, a woman, a full grown woman, it's like it just gave me everything, like a sense of this burden is now lifted off of me. So I've been through so much in my life to the point where I question God, why he had me living with all these evil ass people in this world. And I can remember asking God that question at the early age of 4 years old. I went through things that was meant to kill me emotionally, mentally, and physically. I have been through therapy to heal. I also lived in church, and I tell everybody that I lived in church when I was a child, which was supposed to be a spiritual connection and healing. I can honestly say that between the ages of 7 through 14 was literally the best years of my life. My foster mother was my everything. I didn't realize that I didn't grieve the way I was supposed to. And I don't know really how grief works because everybody grieves differently. But I was holding on to me losing my foster mother for a very, very long time. But like I said, she was my everything. You know, she was my air, my life, my soul. When you love, you know, I don't know if y'all ever loved someone like that. And for her not to be blood related to me, I think I don't love probably two other beings like that, other than my children, where they're my life, my air, my oxygen. You know, I need them as much as they need me, in a sense. You know, I don't know if that makes sense to anybody, but my foster mother was my everything. And when I lost her, it took a lot out of me. I was lost mentally. I was lost emotionally. I really just didn't care. And for the most part, I was just, I guess it's a word I want to say, a phrase. I was just living, not like existing. That's the word, existing. I was just existing. I wasn't really living. So it was a lot of things in life that was going on, and I needed my mother to explain to me the things that a lot of people I knew didn't have the answer, or couldn't provide me the answer, or wouldn't give me an answer. So life without my foster mother was like really scary. It was cruel. It was unapologetic. I said that to say that my visit to Chattanooga it was a much needed visit, because I was able to visit my foster mother's grave. And I remember when I was looking at her grave, and it sounds like I'm reading, but at the same time, because I wrote some stuff down and I'm going off of how I feel at the moment. When I was at my foster mother grave, and I done said this to myself more than once, I can always come home. And Chattanooga, even though I never really just lived in Chattanooga, I visited when we was kids, but I was home because I was in the area where she was at, and that was my home. So like I said, if y'all don't understand it, like when I think of emotions, like when I love somebody, that's how I love. Like I got to get back to, like, it's like when I love, I don't know about anybody else, I love with all my heart, my soul, my everything. That's how I love. And it's like a difference between me loving and me liking. You know, I can like a lot of people, but I don't love a lot of people in a way where you're my everything. I love because God says love, and that's on another level of love. But when I love, like love, where I know I'm going to be connected to you for the rest of my life, I mean, and I love you with my everything. I don't have to be with you. I don't have to be next to you. I don't even have to live in the same town as you. You can be on the other side of the world, and somehow, some way, we'll be forever connected. That's my type of love. My type of love. Then, you know, you have the godly love, when God says love regardless. I understand that type of love as well. But when I love with everything, that means that you will always be able to count on me regardless of what's going on in life, how it's going on in life. I would do my best to be there for that person that I love. So let's get that clear. So then that's how I felt about my foster mother. Like, I loved her. Like, that was my everything. Like, literally, life without her was really confusing. Okay, so I said all that to say that I needed to heal. Because when she died, like, and I keep saying I didn't have no understanding. I couldn't understand why she was taken from me, you know. I didn't get it. I probably still don't get it, but I understand, you know. I have to really be realistic with things, you know. We're born on this earth to actually live and then die. And while we're here on this earth, we have a purpose. And once our purpose is fulfilled, for the most part, some people's purpose don't get fulfilled because they rather do other stuff. But most likely, once a purpose is fulfilled, then it's time for us to move on or transition to the afterlife. So I understand that part. But as the human part is me, it's like I really wish she lived forever. But she didn't. She really lived her purpose, because her purpose was She raised so many kids that wasn't hers, plus her own children, and she loved us all. She took care of us all. We had the best of the best of the best. And I hate to say this, but for the most part, we lived better than a lot of children that was with their families. And I wasn't with my family, but I never wanted for anything. I always had hot meals. She always cooked hot meals. I never knew what it meant, what it meant to be without. We was loved. That was her way of showing us that she loved us unconditionally. So, and I had a hard time dealing with being without. I had a hard time, honestly, eating certain foods that I wasn't used to. I had a hard time just adjusting to life without, because she literally had us in a way that I can say that we were spoiled. And life without being spoiled, it was like a reality that I just wasn't ready to face. But at the same time, like I said, purpose. She lived a purpose, because everything she taught me, from cleaning to loving God to not wanting to be like everybody else in this world, never be a follower, have your own mind, things of that, morals, respect. I learned that from her, everything. Like, it's like who I am today. I know I can be mean sometimes, but for the most part, I'm a respectful person. I love unconditionally for the most part. I give without wanting anything back. I try to help people as much as I can. It's a lot of times I give people my last and I don't even tell them that's my last. I try to be there for family, regardless if you're blood or not. I am a family person. I love children. That is I love kids, because kids didn't ask to be here. They're innocent. And that's something I remember her saying to me, and I've heard it throughout my life. The children didn't ask to be here, so they always need to be loved. I love children. I believe in discipline. I believe in working hard for what I want. She taught us not to expect handouts, because the world don't owe you anything, And that's how I live my life today. That's how I am the woman that I am today, is that when I get up early in the morning, I go get what I need and I go get what I want, because that's what I was taught. Don't expect nothing free from anybody. And then you appreciate it even better when you work hard for it. So all those things that I was taught, like I said, it's implemented in my life. And I just had to realize I needed to let go that she died. So I had to heal from that. Really just let it go and let it just okay, I know you're watching over me. I finally just let it go. And that's what Tennessee did to me, is just finally letting go, letting her know that I'm doing my best out here. I'm not perfect. I can't tell anybody that I am perfect, because I'm not perfect. I'm trying to be there for people, even when it's hard to be out here with these people, and I say these people because it's a lot of y'all evil ass people out here. And it seems like it's more evil people than it's good people. And I'm just trying to show people that the way you was raised, if it's not right, that don't mean that you have to continue that cycle. And I am a firm believer in that, because it was certain parts of my DNA was a certain way, and I chose to be different to this day, So I had to just heal and let go of a lot of stuff. Like, y'all don't understand. I've been holding on to that probably for the last 30 years. Like, I want my mama, and I had a biological mother, and I love my biological mother. But at the same time, I love my foster mother too. And I loved her literally with everything in my being, everything in my soul. And I was probably the most problematic kid that she had, one of them, probably on the top two. I was always getting into trouble, always into stuff. But I loved her, and I learned a lot of lessons from her, and I miss her so dearly. And I miss her a lot. I be wanting and when I see my sister Dinah, and then I see my other sister Garnett, and it remind me so much of my mama. And oh wow. And it makes me feel good, like a piece of her is still here, and I can call them and talk to them and get lectured and still be loved at the same time. And I appreciate that. I appreciate the fact that I was in the system and this family really loved me. Really, really, really loved me. And that takes a lot, for a person like me. If you knew my my traumatic past, and he'd be like, oh, yeah. I think I was almost out of that. But, like I said, I needed therapy and some church. I needed Jesus for the most part. And I got him too. So I know who he is. I know God is the head of my life. He will always be the head of my life, regardless of me being a sinner. He's still the head of my life. I still acknowledge him in all my ways. And I'm more appreciative at the age of 44 than I ever been. Like, I'm still here. I'm still living. I still have life. I'm still able to move forward and give to others. I'm still here to help others. I'm still here to even be a listening ear. And sometimes people really do get on my nerves because they are so negative. But at the same time, I'm still here to listen and really try to turn people's negative energy into positive energy. And this is the end of my podcast because I'm over here shedding a tear or two. But if you knew what love was, I was loved and I loved back. Yeah. And I needed that trip. Y'all don't understand how much I needed that trip. I'm going to go again. Next time I'm driving because I'm not getting on. Well, I'm not going to say I'm not going to get back on another airplane. But Delta small jets are not for me. I guess they're called small jets or they're small airplanes. They're not for me. I don't do well with turbulence. And I don't do well with being like squeezed in confined spaces. So, and I'm not doing that again. I might fly another airplane or I would drive to Tennessee. But Delta is a no-go for me. It's about as bad as, what's that flight? Spirit. A no-go. So I can't do that no more. What else? So normally at the end of my podcast, I sponsor or I tell you about another business to like look into. But this time, I'm going to talk about my own nonprofit business. I really try hard every year to gather school supplies for kids. I know children that need school supplies. Fresh Beginning Life Changer organization. So if you're willing to donate, if you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and also Twitter. And I can give you mailing information or you can cash out me donations for school supplies because school is coming up within the next few weeks. I want to buy at least some pencils, some backpacks, paper. I'm going to see what these kids need, but I know for a fact they need pencils, they need crayons, they need paper, they need backpacks. If somebody got like uniforms of all kinds, let me know. I can come pick them up. But donate. Fresh Beginning Life Changing Organization. My phone number is 713-530-4192. I can give you more information about my nonprofit, but I'm always trying to help the youth. So school supplies, school is coming up. Crayons, pencils, notebook paper, tablets. I think they use Kleenex, glue. I ain't been to school in a long time, and I haven't bought school supplies in a long time. Rulers, markers, all those type of things. If you can donate, let me know. I will come pick them up, or you can call me, and I can give you a mailing address where you can send them to. Thanks again for tuning in to Really Ness Podcast and just listening to my mind at the moment. And I really wanted to talk about my healing process of visiting Chattanooga. So that's what this was like. I really got a chance to let go of some things that I've been holding on to, and I really needed that, like more than y'all would ever know how much I needed that. And I'm pushing forward, and I'm gonna continue my path that I'm going on. I'm praying for y'all. Y'all pray for me, and God bless.